This is Excel level 6, lesson 67, determining percent in word problems. Pretty simple lesson here. I'm sure you guys won't have any trouble with it. Just keep in mind that fractions, decimals, percents, ratios, they're all pretty much the same thing. Decimals, percents, fractions, ratios. 10 children are playing ball. 6 of them are girls. What percent of the children are girls? Okay, so if 10 children are playing and 6 of them are girls, 6 out of 10, and to change that into a percent, it has to be out of 100. So 6 times 10 is 60 because 10 times 10 is 100. So 60% or 60 out of 100 are girls. Let's try this next one here. Number 1, 3 of Mary Gwen's 4 pets are cats. What percent of her pets are cats? 3 out of 4 are cats. Well, to change it into a percent, it's got to be out of 100. How do we go from 4 to 100? We multiply by 25. 3 times 25 is 75. 75 out of 100 is the same thing as 75%. Okay, you go ahead and try number 2. Pause the video and then turn it on when you're ready to see the solution. Rodrigo recently drove 300 miles on a trip. It was raining for 75 of those miles. What percent of his driving was done in the rain? That's out of 100. How do we go from 300 to 100, which is percent means out of 100? We divide by 3. What's 75 divided by 3? That's 25. So the answer is 25%. All right, try 3 and 4. Pause the video until you're ready to see the solution. Number 3, the life of the light bulb in Val's lamp is 500 hours. So far it has burned 60 hours. What percent of its life has been used? It's used up 60 out of 500. Percent is out of 100. So how do we go from 500 to 100? We divide by 5. 60 divided by 5 is 12. So the answer is 12%. Kaylin usually works 20 hours every week. She spends 8 of those hours typing. What percent of her work is spent typing? 8 out of 20 is typing. 100 is percent. To go from 20 to 100, we multiply it times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. 40%. Okay, go ahead and do this problems with a check answer here, and then turn on the video when you're ready to see the solution. Virginia has decided to work in her yard for 5 hours. So far she has worked 3 hours. What percent of her work has she finished? She has finished 3/5 of her work. To change that to a percent, we change it to out of 100. 5 times 20 is 100, so 3 times 20 is 60. She's finished 60% of her work. A scout troop recently sold 200 boxes of cookies. Ziva sold 50 of those boxes. What percent of the cookies were sold by Ziva? She sold 50 out of 200. And change that to out of 100. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. 25 out of 100. 25%. All right, thanks for watching.